It's not going to guarantee an outcome, but it's going to guarantee that a family has an opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have without it. My name is Craig Robinson. I'm co-owner of Robinson & Casey. I'm also the Chief Relationship Officer here. And I've been an attorney for 17 years. Part of that time was in civil litigation, and then most recently in the Marchman Act and guardianship.
Hi, my name is Richard Casey, and I'm the CEO of Robinson & Casey. I began my career in the substance use disorder treatment facility working from Caron Treatment Centers, located in Florida, where I worked in business operations. After years of cutting my teeth in that organization, I went out on my own, starting my own law firm, before merging with my law partner, Craig Robinson, and bringing to the world Robinson & Casey.
What really inspired me to start Robinson & Casey was my own recovery journey. That started in 2018 when I met Richard Casey. I actually met him while I was in treatment, and he was working in the treatment center that I was in, and I was in treatment for my own addiction and mental health disorder. That's really where the foundation for our firm began. I've always been looking for purpose in my work, and I never really found it until I got into recovery myself. It's really where this firm began, and it's kind of continued on from that point until this day.
I really think that the family is the patient, and that it's incredibly important for families to set realistic boundaries to curtail someone who's suffering from substance abuse's entitlement. But they aren't always well equipped to do that on their own, especially with an adult child or a sibling or even an adult parent if they're the adult child. It's necessary for someone who's suffering from a substance abuse to experience real consequences. The Marchman Act delivers a controlled consequence, something that's not a criminal event, something that's not tragic like death, but it is manufactured. So the core problem is getting someone to treatment who doesn't want to go and having them experience a degree of pain that's willing to make them change without that pain being something that's permanent or irreversible.
When we talk about leading with compassion and how we integrate that into our daily lives today, it starts first and foremost by recognizing that when a family calls us, they are generally in crisis. And so the empathy and compassion needs to be first and foremost in our interaction with that family. No matter how challenging it may be to manage a family in crisis, we need to remember first and foremost that at one point in time, this was our family. And so how we manage that truly is that we treat our clients like they're our own family. There are a lot of law firms out there who their goal is to accomplish a legal objective, to get the client the right legal outcome. And for us, it goes way beyond that. It goes into, we want to do everything in our power to set this family up for success. And it starts with recognizing where that family is. They say in therapy, meet the patient where they are. Well, we need to meet the family where they are, which is generally in crisis. So recognizing that first and foremost is of the utmost importance to us. The most common misconception about the Marchman Act that we hear is, I can't do this to my loved one because they're going to hate me forever. Why I say it's a misconception is because I've been able to now see the outcomes of our cases as they've gone forward. And while I understand why families feel that way, I can't start a legal case against my loved one. If they find out that I served them with a Marchman Act paperwork, they are going to hate me forever. They're never going to talk to me. What I see on a daily basis, especially when their loved one is actually under the care of a really quality clinical team, is that is just not reality. There's a lot of family healing that takes place in this process. Does it work out perfectly every time? No. But we tend to see the opposite of what families feel like will be the outcome on the front end of things. We really see true miracles take place through this process. It's why I believe in it so much. It's not going to guarantee an outcome, but it's going to guarantee that a family has an opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have without it.
We continue to look for different ways to add value to our families, to be able to expand what it is that we offer. But our core mission is helping families with loved ones who are suffering from addiction and mental illness access treatment. From that includes supporting the family with some of the services we've added, such as the Family Alliance, which provides peer support groups for family members whose loved ones are being Marchman acted or under guardianship, to be able to get support from one another, to help them through this stressful process, to learn what holding boundaries is like, to begin to gain those tools of supporting their loved one in a productive manner towards long-term recovery. We see ourselves being able to provide advanced services along the continuum of care for all of our families. But we ultimately want to be known for the ability to help a family get their loved one into treatment and through an engaged and productive recovery by delivering compassionate and genuine services.
When you think of a law firm and you think of the reasons why you would be calling a law firm, generally it's not usually a good thing. Usually you're in some sort of trouble and you're looking for a solution. And I think families have a difficult time thinking, why would I call a law firm when my loved one is having a mental health or crisis with addiction? It's hard to kind of comprehend. And so what I would want to leave families with ultimately is that we are really different than your standard law firm. We say we've been there, and the reality is we have. Both Richard and I have had our own battles with addiction and mental health. It's how we met. It's how our relationship formed. And so when you call us and you reach out to us and you think that you might need us, I wouldn't hesitate just because you feel like I just don't want to call a law firm. We don't even look at ourselves really as a law firm. We look at ourselves as a member of the behavioral health team that happens to provide a legal service. But the reality is that we provide a lot more than that. And so I would tell families, really, if you feel like you've run out of options and you're even thinking that maybe the Marchman Act or a guardianship is the way to go, don't hesitate to call us, and just see where that conversation leads. We spend probably more time on the phone with families that never hire us. And that's okay, quite honestly, because I tend to think that we still at least provide something to those families. Maybe it's just some direction. Maybe we plant a seed for them and just get them thinking that there might actually be an opportunity here. But for us, all of that is worth it. So I would just say to families that if you feel like this could be an option, but you have fear or reservation to actually call a law firm, don't even look at us as a law firm. Look at us as just another member of the behavioral health team that wants to help you.